Hi guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to just be messing around with a sketch to mix Nightmare Moon and Fluttershy. Now, at first, when I was starting this design, you can see I was messing around with the cutie mark for Fluttershy, but I will actually not put that into the final inked version that I will be coloring. Only because I wasn't too sure about it just yet. I might mess around with that design separate before I fully color in my last drawing that I do for this pony. And as you can tell, I end up actually wondering, well, what would have happened had Nightmare Moon come back and for Celestia to actually forgive Luna, she would have to pay a penance such as losing the ability to have her magic as a unicorn and the ability of flight, or one or the other. How would that have affected Luna in the series? And while I was wondering that and thinking of the different possibilities, I actually end up forgetting to put Pegasus wings on this pony. And the wings I'm going to put on her, though, they will be a bat pony's mix of wings with a bit of feathering. And if you guys want to pitch in some names for this pony, I would be interested to see them, or even ideas for the cutie mark. I was kind of thinking a bat, or two bats, and a moon, like a crescent moon, or even a Luna moth and a crescent moon. But you guys can leave that down in the comments. And I also want to actually, possibly, turn this into the next painting. Possibly. I mean, you guys let me know if you want to see that, because it would definitely be awesome. And either A, the background would be some kind of glossy, polished moon floor type crossover, and then, or it would be a ruins of a castle. You know, something real dark. I had gotten lost on the idea for the picture I wanted to do with the dragon and the tome, mainly because doing the measurements to also now put in a window behind the desk, I want to add a background to it. But then I keep coming back and forth. Do I want a morning background where the sun is just peeking up over trees or mountains? Or do I want something that has a really dark background? At that point, I have to really focus on where the light sources are from the inside of the cabin. Tell me what you guys think in the comments for that one. Which way should I lean towards? And that's also what I was trying to figure out while just doodling the pony. And you can also tell I was very uncertain how I liked the leg armor and hoof guard combo. That's why you see two different types. And I knew this was a possible finished drawing, but I still wanted to see what it would look like. But I'm also going to do a second drawing because I will forget the wings not once, but twice. That's right, I forgot the wings twice. So I'll have to go back and do another one. And to do that, I will actually flip the picture to the opposite side of this light table, just a little further down the paper, and I will be re-inking this. And when I do, I'm actually going to also move the position of the back leg a little closer towards the ground, and I'm going to put the tail in front of the leg as well, instead of behind the leg. Also, I accidentally had where the paper kept coming up too far and the camera picking up the light table right below. So I'll block that out when I can with my little label, just so as that doesn't blind you guys. It's actually a lot brighter if I didn't have that there. I know you guys like to see beginning sketches with the circles, lines that connect the circles, so as that you can see from beginning to end how a person came up with the thought. But I did the pre-pose sketching off camera because I actually end up with over 6 to 7 different pages before that, just because I really don't like all the pencil marks that just end up stuck in a paper. It's not like whenever you're doing virtual art. Whenever people are doing art, like say on Procreate or one of those other really cool programs, they can use the different layers for their artwork to have different things show or disappear. When you're doing artwork with actual paper, any line you make, whether that's with the edge of a pencil, the lead part of the pencil, if you've accidentally pulled the paper and you've got that wrinkle now in there, it's there. There's no getting it out. Not completely. So I end up with the circles to neckline, and then I'll move on to where I want to put the features, and then I do a full, almost not shrink wrap. I don't like shrink wrapping my figures, but I do something pretty close to that. And by shrink wrap, I mean just simply connecting a line over everything, just over the backs of the bubbles or the line that connects the two bubbles. I like to picture in my mind where the muscle will be, and that's where I put the line. And I have multiple books on muscle anatomy. I have looked up multiple references throughout the course of my drawing adventures, and that's why I end up basically look like I'm skipping certain steps. It's because I'm already visualizing this in my mind and I'm moving forward from there half the time, or I've already done the step off camera and I just don't want to waste time or have to speed up footage even further to show my entire process, because it is way longer then. And when I say I have books on muscle anatomy, I mean I have them by other people who have really studied and put the time into putting together books on muscle anatomy. And if you guys want, I can drop their names in the video and you guys can even look up these books, because they are very helpful. And truthfully, I wish I'd found them a lot sooner than I had, but it's amazing what you find from bookshops or just off a website and you're like, oh, well, I wasn't even looking for this. Okay, here I've already started with the wings that I have come up with for this Pegasus / bat pony. And as you can see, they actually look a little squished. And so I'm going to actually extend and also redesign that farther off wing, because not only is the position just a little bit too wrong, but I don't like how it's completely folded, and I'm going to readjust that, which might actually make it a little more dizzying for you guys a little bit. when I was coming up for a color scheme for this pony, I decided that I wanted to have the pink and the orangey pastel yellow hues of Fluttershy, such as the pink in the mane, but I also wanted to fade, like the way a beautiful sky goes from this pinky red sunset to this beautiful purple starry galaxy look. And I want the feathers on the hoof and also parts of the wings to retain some of that orangey pastel yellow. So I'm going to also incorporate that part. That way then I can tie both color schemes together a little neater, or at least I'm hoping it will be a little neater. And also I am still really debating on whether or not this pony will be featured in a painting. I know I mostly paint very furry critters such as wolves or even lions. Dragons I've painted, but I haven't painted as many horses, unicorns, or pegasi, but I would love to give this one a go. You guys drop that in the comment and let me know what you all think. If you would also love to see the way I go about turning this into a painting, or I can just simply give a few pictures after it is done, and I'll place them on my Facebook account, which is also under the same name, so it's easy for everybody to find it. And you guys just let me know. When you see the braids that I do here, you'll see just how dysfunctional my hand was from my brain at this moment. They look like flowers, just layered together, flowers or like seashells or something. So then I'll go back over it with the hearts going the opposite direction, which is what I should have done to begin with, not try to get all fancy. And it just didn't really pan out for me. I wasn't too sure if I really like the tassels, by the way, but it does seem like it ties the whole thing together. There is one thing I want to keep an eye out for, and that is an actual purple pen by Sharpie or Bic, only because I love the way the ink really flows from both sets. And normally, no, I would not say let's do art with a Bic pen, because you're thinking the ballpoint Bics. Those are good for writing. They're not the best for writing, but they're good. They are good. But for doing artwork, this very slender Bic pen that I have found, it was in a set of 4. It had a green, a magenta, kind of pinky purple, and it had a black, and there was one other color which I can't remember, and I've definitely misplaced because I haven't seen it. But it was just a mystery pack I came across the one day, and I loved it. I would love to be able to find more of them. Sadly, this is all the time I have for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.